Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we will learn about useRef hook. useRef lets you reference a value. It can persist across renders, that means updating it does not re-render a component. It can be used for following purposes. For accessing and manipulating the DOM. Persisting values across renders, so it won't cause re-render. This is the syntax of useRef. useRef returns an object which has property current and value. InitialValue will be the value set initially to current property of useRef. Let's understand this hook with an example. First example, we will see, is counting how many times a component is re-rendered. You may want to check this to understand why a component is rendering too often, and to check that for debugging purposes, printing the count with help of useRef would be helpful. Because, if we use useState it will cause re-rendering of component. And useRef, as we already learned, will not do that. This would be more clear, as we see the code. First, we will create functional component. Now, first we'll create a state variable count. Then we'll create a ref variable and we'll set it to 0 initially. Now, we will increment that ref on every render, by accessing its current property and incrementing it by 1. Now, we will display ref and also increment counter to check if on every render of component if useRef is updating its value. This will be initial output. Now let's click on increment. Let's check output. As you can see, ref counter is incrementing, that is, it's showing rendering count of component. Now, you must be thinking, instead of useRef, why can't we use useState here? Because useState will cause re-rendering of the component and thus it will create performance issue, as it might run into infinite loop too. Now, let's see another example. In this example, we will show and hide an input field on click of button, and once input field is visible on screen, it will be auto-focused. First, we will create ref for input element. Now, we will create state variable to show and hide that field. Now, in useEffect we will use the current property of ref and set it to focus. So, what this will do is whenever show field is clicked, input field is shown and it will be auto-focused. We will create button to show and hide field. Here we will create input field which will be auto-focused on rendering. Now, let's check output. This is the initial state of output. Let's click on button. As you can see, the field is visible and it is auto-focused. Now, let's look at another example. useRef can be very useful when you want to scroll to bottom or at top of an element, having multiple elements. As scrolling to particular position is a DOM operation. useRef is perfect here. Let's look at the code first. We will create functional component first. First, we'll create useRef and set it to null initially. Next, we will create this function named scroll to bottom and will access current property of ref and will call scroll into view method on it. Scroll into view is a DOM method, it is not specific to React. This method will automatically scroll to element referenced by ref and will make it visible. Now, let's create a scrollable element with text messages. Now, let's display the data. First, let's create header. Now, let's display messages. Now, here we will add the ref at the end of all elements. So, when scroll to bottom is clicked, it will navigate to this div having ref. Now, we'll create button, on click of which, focus will be navigated to ref at the bottom. This is the initial output. If we click on scroll to bottom, as you can see, it moved to ref element that is at end of the element as ref was placed at end. In the same example, if you keep ref element before messages that is at top of other elements like below, scroll will move to top position. So, this way we can use useRef to scroll top and bottom both. Now, let's summarize useRef hook on the basis of what we have learned so far. Let's see in which scenarios useRef would be useful and in which it won't be. For persisting data across renders, use useRef when you don't wish to trigger re-rendering of component and avoid it when you want to trigger re-render, for example input element. Next scenario is triggering UI updates. No, don't use useRef in this, as it will not trigger re-rendering of component. Use useState in such scenarios. Third scenarios is accessing or manipulating DOM elements. useRef is best in this scenario as it will not trigger re-renders and current property will help to access DOM. So, this is it for useRef hook in today's video. We will meet in another video with another hook or another React topic. If you have any topic in mind, please let me know in comments below. Do subscribe to my channel, like the video and share it with anyone who wants to learn React. We will meet in next video. Till then, bye bye and happy coding.